Right. Now, good. We soon have to go to the lines, but I would ask you, what are some of the things being done in terms of staff development and the Ministry of Tourism? Because that is so important.
Workshops held from time to time on project development, on water conservation, and climate change, and the whole idea is to give the staff the tools and the knowledge to be able to perform more effectively.
Okay.
And the same sustainable tourism program which I said was extended, our staff was also involved in the sustainable tourism training, and it included topics that look at destination management,
yes,
and all of those issues. It provided toolkits so we can do outreach to not only persons outside of our organization but persons within the organization as well.
Okay. Now, ladies, it's time to go to the phone lines. So, an interesting part, of course, this program is about listening to the people, and so we are going to put on our headphones and we are going to welcome the calls that those who are listening have. We welcome their calls every week. They are very valuable to us. We appreciate them very much. The numbers to call are 465-2555. That's the local number. 465-2555. And the overseas number is 1-718-577-2916. That is 1-718-577-2916. We welcome your calls. Working for you, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone there on the panel. Carl Brown here.
Good afternoon, Carl.
Good afternoon.
Yes, well, you know, this water conservation is being a brainchild of mine. And every time we have these topics, I do not get from the water authorities the most proper uses of conserving water. We are building all these hotels, all these construction thing is busting up like nut grass and French weed all over the Federation. But yet, with all of these projects and all of these construction, I am not hearing from the water authorities that they are putting forth to the government and Parliament that we must pass into Parliament that any construction that is done must carry assistance. This water that we have, once ago, as you earlier said, we used to think that it's water will never ever done. But look at what we're in today. Because everybody stopped building cisterns and stopped putting catchment and spout on the roof to catch the natural rainwater, and to even have pumps and pump some of the gut water that comes down from the mountain on an annual basis, and millions and trillions of gallons goes into the sea. We can work something out with that, right? And if we don't start to get cisterns and catchment for water, this water that we have in reserve will disappear like a puff of dust or a puff of wind. The high construction rate that is going on in the Federation, we ain't gonna maintain much of that safety water much longer. The other thing is, we need to get into start pumping some of the trillions of gallons of that seawater and washing it out, wash out the salt and turning it into use of water for us here. Why we have it sitting there and not using it? We can wash out the salt out of that, and not only that, the same salt water can be pumped to water plants like coconut trees, palm trees, and grape trees. Lots of plants and fruits that we eat, there is the seawater that it grows from. So we need to use what we have to keep what we have in reserve. The other point concerning the water, in the Buckley's area up here, we have a cistern we have a tank up here, right behind the hospital up here. And millions of gallons of water when that tank full and run over goes into the sea. I tired complain, I tired suggest about this. What is the initiative to save all those wasted of water that is going into the sea?
Okay, Carl, thank you.
I listen for your comment.
Thank you for your contribution. Working for you, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Leroy.
Good afternoon.
And to you, good two ladies there coming from the tourism.
There are actually
department.
3.
Yes. Hello,
Not
you
2,
there?
but 3 of them.
Cheer them, okay, yes.
Yes.
No, yeah, good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you're all doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
All right, educating the people about tourism in this country because that is our main industry right now. And we got to protect it. We got to protect our country. Now, I hear you speak about the railway from Newton Ground to Ross University. But I think that since the sugar industry closed and the railway not using, people who have home close to the railway, I think some of them done fencing the railway and bring the fence close by the railway. So I want to know what plans you all got to do. What plans you all got? If you are going to fix that railway from Newton Ground to town, if you are going to make people move the fence
about this,
because the railway always there. Nobody know what government will come in and develop
all those
and do whatever they're going to do.
Of water that
so
is going into the sea.
That's where we were supposed to live there as a protection. That in case any future government gets in and they want to bring back the railway from around the whole island. Good afternoon, Leslie. It was there for that purpose. And to you, but some people there coming from the tourism and just fencing and just fence close to it. You know, so I want to know your plan. What you all will do. No, if these people got the fence. Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
Oh, you are doing a wonderful job. Over the railway. All right, good program. The people about tourism in this country because that is our main industry right now. And they got to protect it.
Okay, we don't have any calls right now. If
I hear you speak about the railway.
2 questions. One,
from Newton Ground
I think that Carl spoke
University.
to water conservation.
But I think that since the sugar industry closed
and how it
and the
can affect the
railway
tourism
not using,
industry.
people who have home close to the railway.
Yes.
I think some of them done
And
fencing
then
the
the
railway
issue,
and
I
bring the
think we take
fence
some
close.
sort of a government intervention, but
Close.
you have anything to
By
say?
the railway, so I want to know what plans you all got to do. What plans you all got.
While I can't speak to
If
everything
you are
for
going to fix that railway
water,
from Newton Ground to town,
one of the things
if
he
you are
spoke
make people
about
move the
was
fence.
the desalination
Because
plant
the
and all the
railway
hotels
always
that
there.
are popping
Nobody know
up.
what government
Just
is coming
wanted
and
to point
develop
out that
and
Marriott
do
already
whatever
has
they're
a
going to do.
desalination plant.
So I think that
right?
That's where we were
The
supposed
water
to live there as a
services
protection.
department has
That
been
in case any
liaising with
any
other
future government gets
developers
in
with
and they want
respect
to
to
bring back
similar
the railway from around the whole
plans.
island.
No.
It was there for that purpose.
One of the things that we
But
noted
some
when we
people
did our presentation,
take it on their
a lot
own
of the water,
and just fence
most of
in
the
and just
water
fence
in
close to
cities
it.
are
So I want to know
consumed
your
by
plans.
local
What you all will do.
consumers, households,
If these people got
rather
the
than
fence,
industry and manufacturing. Unlike in other places, agriculture
all right, good
takes
program.
up most of the water in
not
other
there.
countries. That's not the case here. Secondly, the
Okay, we
use
don't
of
have any
water.
callers
St.
right
Kitts
now.
has the
If
highest
you want to address
per
there were
capita
2
rate
questions.
in
One,
terms of use of water
I think that
in the region. We use up to 4 to 10 times more water than households of same sizes within the region, right? And so, yes, I understand what Carl was saying about the water that goes down to the sea and there should be more storage. I do not disagree, and I think there are some discussions about those things already. But in addition to that, we can build all the storage we want in terms of trapping all the water that's coming down College Street, trapping all the water that overflows from the Lagweed area. But if we do not change the way we do things, we are going to still have the same problems. So both things must be happening simultaneously. Yes, government needs to look for more water, but at the same time, people need to practice, for example, not having power showers, which is a new term I learned. I thought a power shower was like a power nap, where you take a quick nap. And a power shower is actually the opposite. You stay and you have the wonderful massage heads on your shower head,
Oh.
and so you stay in the shower longer while the water beats against your skin,
Okay.
and they end up having a 45-minute shower.
Wow.
Right? So we need people not to have those power showers, right? And look at having, what difference does it make whether you have a 10-minute or 5 to 10-minute shower as opposed to a 45-minute shower? You understand? So we need to practice that. We used to, when we were younger, well, some of us, when you were washing dishes, you'd use a container. You fill the container with water, you put your soap, you wash your dishes. Now, for every dish, you turn on the tap and you leave the tap running while you're soaping the dish, and you rinse the dish, and that uses more water.
Right.
We're not checking for leaks.
Or brushing
Right.
your teeth. And
Brushing your teeth, water is running.
And you're brushing.
Right.
Yes.
You know, so those are some of the things we need to start to be more mindful. And I know the Water Services Department has started some projects already, and that comes out of our Sustainable Destination Management Group. They've been working with the Abattoir, Virchilds High, and St. Paul's Primary, because government institutions, especially schools, are guilty of wastage of water more so than other areas. So they've begun a project where they're working with those to look at different systems for the toilets, less water. For example, a regular toilet uses 5 gallons of water to flush. They're looking at a 1-gallon flush. Right? Those are the kind of things that are being done. But we in our homes can also do that thing. I remember the Water Services Department being in the square and talking about, you already have your toilet, you cannot afford to buy a new one. How about filling a bottle or putting a stone inside the tank so that it uses less water? It takes in less, but the system still works as if it's full. Do things, little things like that, and then we will see a difference in our usage. At the same time, government will now be looking at the other catchment and desalination and all of those things, you know, but it has to be done at the same time.
Right. Okay, so the railway. What plans are there to fix the railway? He asked. But
okay, with the railway, as Charlene explained, what she's doing right now only speaks to the area where we were able to locate the more visible rails, right? That's the demonstration area. For the areas where people have covered with their fences and stuff like that, I think that goes a little beyond Ministry of Tourism, and that is what sustainable tourism is all about. It's about consultation, meeting with the communities, sharing what we are hoping to do, getting their feedback and showing them how they can benefit more for a project like this running through the area than having a fence that extends beyond their boundaries. Because people coming through your area, going on hikes and stuff like that, you get an opportunity to sell stuff. You get an opportunity to have tour guides in those areas, that sort of thing. So you can implore people to make the necessary adjustments without having to use the big stick. Right? That I think that's where we would want to start first, to work with the people in the communities, show them the benefits first, and see how we can get them to come in the direction we would want all of us to go.
Sure.
Right?
Okay, you are listening to Working for You. We're having a very lively discussion about the importance of the tourism industry to St. Kitts and Nevis. I have here with me Mrs. Dianelle Taylor Williams, Miss Novelette Morton, and Miss Charlene. Charlene, welcome. We now have the lines open. The numbers to call are 465-2555. That's the local number. And 1718-577-2916. That is 1718-577-2916. We welcome your calls. There are no callers on the line, and so we'll have to continue our discussion a little bit more. Now, in terms of product development, that is something very important. Ms. Morton spoke before about brand and the importance that we maintain
have a caller.
in terms of our brand. Working for you, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. I understood 465-2555 was a hotline at Ziz. So I've been calling 466-0989 because this is WinFM, isn't it?
No, this is ZIZ.
Oh, this is ZIZ.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somehow I seem to have it on the wrong channel here on my radio. I didn't realize it's on both. Sorry.
It is. Mm-hmm.
I would really like to congratulate the ladies. I know Noblet Morton very well, but I don't know your other two ladies, Miss Welcome and Miss Williams. But I would certainly like to congratulate them on their presentation this afternoon. I have been listening. I have a lot of things to do, but I find myself listening and I can't move away from the radio because I'm just very impressed with the way they are expressing themselves. And kudos to the women.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Working for you, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, guys, again. Carl Brown here.
Yes, Carl.
On tourism, we have been pushing and molding this tourism product. But I think one of the serious mistakes we are not blending, at least strong enough, is agriculture with tourism. I find that we having too much condos, hotel, golf courses, but you have very little agricultural products or farms between there. It is a nice model that the Kittyshon Hill started out down there. Blending a farm inside the product down there. I hope the initiative is to have all these other hotels and condominiums and all these housing projects that we are doing all around the island and cut down on our import of all these products. And that's why we're having so much cancer, because all these imported things that we import, they are blended with so much chemical and all sorts of things causing us cancer. We need to eat more natural, local, agricultural stuff. And if we go back into the 60s, cancer was a word that we didn't even know. But all of a sudden now is every ticking second on the clock, we're hearing about cancer because we have left our ground food and gone to the imported can and tin and marketable factory-made stuff. So I hope the initiative is to blend and to push agriculture as hard as we are pushing this tourism product.
Okay, Carl. Thank you so much.
Such that what is built now can be improved upon by those coming behind us. I'd really like to know what is going on there so that what is being done now is not lost in future and that they too recognize that they have a stake in the foundation that is being currently laid. I'll listen off air.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a few things there. Agriculture and tourism, and then education, which I think Ms. Morton touched on earlier, but it won't hurt to repeat. So who is going to start the ball rolling? Agriculture and tourism.
If I may,
Education.
make a suggestion, we have Restaurant Week coming up in July. July 13th to 24th. And that is one of the initiatives that the Ministry of Tourism has undertaken to build the relationship between agriculture and tourism.
Yes.
Last year we focused on the breadfruit. We had a breadfruit challenge. There was a competition and the winning dish was served on all the menus for Restaurant Week. This year we focused on pumpkin. That was the vegetable of choice. And again, there will be a pumpkin challenge, and persons are encouraged to come up with some creative dishes so that a winning dish will be selected again for use on all the Restaurant Week menus. Additionally, we had a agro-processor showcase where the agro-processors in St. Kitts were invited to display their products. We had from pepper sauce, we had chips, we had pumpkin in all its forms, pumpkin wine. It was a very good show that it was a very good display that the agro-processors made on that day. So we are working with the agricultural sector to boost agricultural production in St. Kitts.
Yes. Working for you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You seem to have lost that caller. Okay. Yes, so the Ministry of Tourism is building relationships with farmers and so on. And that is quite important in terms of sustainability as well. The linkages that we spoke about within the tourism industry, linkages with key sectors, and agriculture is one of them. However, there's a question though. I think that sometimes the farmers would like to see their produce at the Marriott and some of these other big hotels. You know, and sometimes I think there's a little bit of a problem there in terms of getting their stuff, because then the whole question about quality and all of that sort of a thing comes into play. You know, so
I think what Novelist spoke about, the exhibition, that was one of the objectives. So we had the exhibition, but it was mainly for the procurement staff at the hotels to meet with the agro-processors, so that they form that connection and you know what is available locally, not only the local raw produce, but things that are made. And so they've established that relationship. As a matter of fact, last year for Restaurant Week, a local person who makes local drinks, his restaurant got in touch with the procurement people at Marriott. Somebody told them about the juices that he makes.
right.
And so as a result of that, they started purchasing juices, his local juices, for their restaurant.
Right.
And that is the idea behind Restaurant Week, having that exposure so that they know what is available locally, and then they can make those purchases.
Right.
You know, so it's a start.
Additionally, a large amount of our visitors/diners come with specific requests when it comes to dining, and gluten-free products is something that the restaurants normally would have to import, but it's right here with the agro-processors in terms of the local flour that they make. Flour from the pumpkin, cassava, etc.
Yes.
So at that point at the showcase, they were able to display those items, and I think most of the restaurants that came were particularly interested in the flour that they made. So it was a perfect opportunity for them to market the products that they have to the restaurant. So it's like a foot in already.
Right. So while you spoke about Restaurant Week and the link between agriculture and tourism,